Hello everyone, and welcome to Divine Debut. This is Kathy speaking. Thank you so much for joining me here today, the 10th of July of 2023. I hope you had a wonderful weekend and everything is fine and dandy. Fingers crossed for all of you. Okay, well, we did not get to do a divine spread Friday or Sunday. Many reasons, and life happens, but it is Monday today, and usually on Monday I don't do any readings. So I thought, since I didn't do a divine spread, let's do a messenger is here, because that's what it's all about, understanding the energies and how they're playing out, which I utilize the tarot as well as the astrology, as many of you that follow me very loyally. You would know. Now the moon is towards the last degrees of Aries, so in the next few hours the moon will be entering Taurus, which it loves to be in, but of course it will be in a square to Pluto and a square, not a square, but a conjunction with the North Node and an opposition with the South Node, which the nodal axis, my dear friends, in Taurus Scorpio is in the next few days, in a week, is going to shift. So therefore we're feeling a major shift. We're coming to the end of an 18-month cycle. For some of us, it could be a 19, 20-year cycle that we are closing up and obviously starting to open up a brand new cycle. Now Mars has just entered Virgo, so very important for the mutable people. So Virgo, Pisces, Sagittarius and Gemini, Mars will give more energy to the Virgo individuals. But Mars in Virgo is not its forte position, but this is us being active about our physical health, even our emotional, mental health. Okay, Mars in Virgo is not as strong as it would be in a fire sign or an air sign. So it's more about now the details, putting in the effort, providing a service, working extra hard. Virgo is about work. It is about our daily life. Exercise would be a good idea. As Mars is energy and Virgo is our health, so maybe looking to heal any physical body or emotional body wounds. So that is what we're striving to do. This is the action that we are taking, dear friends. Now Venus is soon going to retrograde. We're coming up to Venus's new cycle as she is going through a rebirth, so a death and a rebirth, obviously, as she's going to retrograde in the sign of Leo. So very, very important for all of us, as we've all got Leo somewhere in the chart. And many of you may not have seen the community post that I've done, so I just wanted to show you that for a minute. Here it is. Let me run through and read it for you. Do you want to finally understand why this special person came into your life? A love, your child, parent, co-worker or friend? Are they your twin flame, a soulmate or even a karmic? What purpose do they serve in your life? Coming up to the Venus retrograde in Leo late in July 2023, you may want these questions and many more answered. The Venus conjunction, which is a kiss with the sun, which is also called the VSP, so the Venus star point. But it's also the Venus retrograde. It's Venus's synodic cycle. She forms a 5-pointed star. That's the Venus star point. So we know Venus retrogrades every 18 months. But her cycle is a 9-month cycle, so she's very much like a baby, that needs nine months before it's born. So something new is going to be created, obviously. And Venus retrograde has got a lot to do with the Venus star point. This Venus star point is the Sun kissing with Venus in Leo. I will be talking about that on Tier 3 on Patreon. For those of you that are interested, do join us there. But what I'm telling you here is that this VSP, or this Venus retrograde in Leo, will highlight all of our relationships now. Venus is not only romantic relationships, she is also our abundance, matters of heart, and pleasures. Through a VSP analysis, which is a Venus star point analysis, a reading, in other words, we can understand the dynamics of our most important matters of the heart and our most important relationships, I'm going to say. Now, the amazing thing with this type of analysis is that we don't need more than a birth date of your special other. No exact times of birth or place of birth, as in a relationship or synastry reading. So we don't need to have a birth time and a birth place. So this is really good for relationships, any sort of relationships that are important to you. We look at your Venus star point, which is the Venus conjunction with the Sun before you were born. Yes, it's before your birth date. It's not your Venus, your natal Venus in your birth chart. It's the Venus conjunction with the Sun before your birth. And that is very significant because we see where it is in your chart and how it coincides with the other person's Venus star point. Very, very important. And there's 3 types of relationships. We've got a twin star relationship. You can imagine now, just with the term twin, it says a lot. Then we've got the karmic star, right? The karmic relationship, and then the creative relationship. So this is what I go into, and I'll be doing this in the next few days. So do consider joining us on Patreon, as this is very important. The Venus retrograde cycle is very important, especially being in the sign of the heart, right, which is Leo. Now, furthermore, if it's not about another person, but discovering about you and your own Venus star point, the goddess of love can illuminate potential possibilities and or challenges of your heart's desires in love, prosperity, and inner peace. As we know, dear friends, Venus is not only love, she is all about prosperity and manifestation, security, financial security, emotional security. Venus has got many, many names to her. And also, this would speak to your dynamics and your weaknesses in achieving your goals. So your Venus star point. So the Venus conjunction Sun before you were born. Now the Venus, your natal Venus is different, as I said. It is different to your Venus star point. So looking at your Venus star point, finding that in your chart is important, because if it was retrograde or direct, it will not be the same with your natal Venus. Please remember that. Yes, the cosmic heartbeat, which is Venus, dear friends, is beating even stronger as Venus will be reborn through her retrograde cycle in Leo, which is our heart nevertheless. Now, we are celebrating love by offering an opportunity to have a VSP analysis reading at a special rate. So I've given you the link. Go to the community tab and press on the link, and you will see we have slashed the price. And that's how we are celebrating love. Remember that Venus is going to be retrograding end of July, and she's going to move direct early September. So she will be in Leo all the way up until October. So we're talking at least 3 months of what's going on in love, in pleasures, in peace, in prosperity, in our securities, and anything it is that we love. Now, lastly, on Patreon and Tier 3, we'll be looking into the Venus retrograde cycle coming up and also talking about the VSP. So consider joining our soul journey. And thank you for even considering, my dear friends. You may want to take advantage of this, which is now at a special rate, if not, whenever you feel called to. So, what planets do you have in Leo? Because they will be very significant. Now, just giving you an example, my Venus, my natal Venus, is in Virgo, but I have got an Aquarius Venus star point. So see how it's very, very different, because your Venus star point is another Venus-Sun conjunction, not the one when you took your first breath. That's your natal Venus. Okay, that's your natal Venus position. And we always look into when the Sun conjuncts with Venus, when Venus gets energized. And it's a very, very interesting synodic cycle that Venus forms. It's all about inner peace, outer peace, harmony, and so much more. Now today, thank you for listening. I thought a lot of you would be interested, and I'd love to hear your comments as well beneath this video. I had to explain that because many of you may not understand the difference between Venus, the Venus retrograde, and your VSP, your Venus star point. And through looking at your Venus star point and the other person's, we see how they interact, whether they're under the same group, because I did say that we form 3 different groups, or if it's a karmic relationship. It depends on how your Venus star points interact, whether they come under the same group, or whether you come together with another person to help each other, or whether this is a karmic relationship and it's filled with lessons. Obviously, as we know, karma needs to be resolved. Anyway, just a little bit more information for you. Today, I'm going to take the Llewellyn Tarot by Anne-Marie Ferguson. And this is the first tarot deck that I bought about 10 years ago. And I like to come back to old tarot decks. I feel energetically they're very powerful. And we'll be taking also a card on the Psychic Tarot for the Heart Oracle. These are only the major arcana cards, as love is going to be very important. Not only love, Venus is also money. And we know financially the world is in a bit of crisis, personally as well. So let's look into this and see what's going on in either those 2 areas of life. And remember that love doesn't only come in the form of romance, it comes through also through many other relationships, even considering the people we interact with every day. So let's call on the messenger. Let's call on Hermes, Archangel Michael, Archangel Lophiel or Jophiel or Zophiel, and they are my spirit guides, obviously. So Mars is just moving now into Virgo. He was very powerful the past couple of days over the weekend, as he was at the last degrees of Leo. My God, the 29th degree, Mars in a fire sign, was very powerful indeed. Very much about urgency, very much about, it's got to happen here and now. A lot of ego, a lot of a want and a need to create, to birth something new. Now Venus is following, of course. She's going to get up to the 28th degree. She's at almost 26 now, so... But remember the major shift that's going on with the nodal axis. My God, a North Node is going to ingress into Aries. So the Venus retrograde in Leo will be in good aspect to the North Node. So good, the North Node is the collective consciousness, the future of the collective consciousness. So this Venus retrograde is going to be in good aspect to the nodal shift. Thank goodness for that. That's a positive note, surely. And happy birthday if you're celebrating today. Happy birthday, my dear friends. And Mercury is at the last degrees of Cancer. Mercury is in opposition to Pluto now, so expect information to come out, a lot to do with the media, any news pertaining to children, journalism, connected to power, money, riches, people who are in charge, a lot of fated events. It's like Mercury squeezing or being squeezed, it's like getting a piece of lemon and squeezing out the juice. Mercury's juicing out all those important news that have been hidden. Let's see what that will be about, because Mercury is about, yes, information, communication, logic or madness. Remember, Mercury in a water sign is bringing up things pertaining to, and in Cancer, bringing information up about the past and anything to do with your family, your home, your emotional securities. And of course, Mercury in the sign of the moon. The moon is the people as well. So a lot of truths coming through for the people that are meant to be understood. Let's see what is playing out with the tarot. What does the tarot show us today? The focal point today is the Queen of Pentacles, and she keeps showing up for me today. Queen of Pentacles, mother, banker, someone who's very stable. She's the go-to person. Remember, queens are all about the knowledge. Yes, there is experience and there's knowledge here. And she's very motherly. She is the minor arcana of the Empress. And Queen of Pentacles is someone very stable. We're talking about an earth sign, so could be Capricorn, could be Virgo, could be Taurus, of course. Queen of Pentacles, we even see her sitting around, she's very earthy, very much about nature, very much about the fruits that the earth provides us, right? Anything to do with stability, working hard towards that, right? Usually it's more Capricorn. Capricorn is work, it's your career, it's your goals, what you aspire to create. Remember, she holds that Ace of Pentacles, so it could speak to money matters or anything long term. Yes, it could speak to work, because work is connected with money, and this could also be support from a motherly figure. Doesn't have to be a mother. Okay, Queen of Pentacles is very nurturing and very provides that security to others, remember. So let's see what's going on with this Queen of Pentacles. We've got the Seven of Swords, Aquarius, Gemini, Libra. We've got the Moon. Now we are coming up to a new moon in Cancer on the 17th, which is going to be a very powerful but also challenging new moon. That's the day that the nodal axis is going to shift as well. So a lot going on. Now we've got the Seven of Swords here, which shows this looks like a father and they've got a child, right? And Seven of Swords, he's holding those 5 swords on his back. It's like, I don't want to fight, okay? Or that I'm challenged to fight for a child. This is me protecting. I mean, we see that he's turning his back to the swords. Can you see? He's not facing the swords. It's like, I don't want that inner conflict. I don't want that trouble. I don't want to go into anything legal. Seven of Swords is also, it's called the thief. So this is information that was unknown to you. And we've also got the moon. And the moon is things that are unknown, and it is connected to someone's home and family. And we actually, in the background, we see a circus. We see circuses. So I don't know what that could mean. I don't know what that could mean for you. To me, what I'm getting is that someone's personal or private life is a bit of a circus. And this is why they may be conflicted internally, or the way they perceive things about sharing information. Right? But this new moon may highlight or may bring up wisdom. We do see an owl here, and the owl is wisdom. And it also speaks to the night time. So there could be information or some form of clarity about a new beginning, a new home. It could be a change of home as well, that this father and this son is burdened by. And the moon, remember, does speak to our subconscious. It speaks to fears. The moon is usually very dark, remember. So right now, we've got a waning moon. So the moon is losing its light. It's like something is being released. Something being released. Because on a full moon, there's a lot of stress, right? Something is coming to a close. It's like wanting to resolve or letting go, releasing now. It's not about building now, it's about releasing. Okay, so let's see what's going on. What else we've got? We've got the Magician, and this is Mercury, so it brings up Gemini and Virgo. The Magician, we know, is an ace. It's like the stars align. This is Mercury, and Mercury is preparing to enter Leo. And Leo, remember, is the heart, matters of the heart. Leo is also the inner child, but also Leo is confidence. It speaks to leadership. It speaks to having the ability to create through conversation. Remember, Mercury in the house of the sun. It's like having the clarity, and this could be clarity in relation to someone's child, could be particularly a son as well, right? The Magician aligns, it's the stars having aligned to bring the information in, giving you all, everything that you need, all the elements to create something of magic. Okay, so Mercury entering Leo will also be information and communication pertaining to the heart, situations that are close to our heart. There will also be risks taken, risks for a child, to protect a child, risk to protect a love relationship. Leo is the heart. Leo is also flirtation. And it's inspiration. It's great inspiration. Through inspiration we create. Okay. Let's see what else we've got. We've got the King of Pentacles, my dear friends, and we've got the Queen of Pentacles, the mother and the father. Interesting. King of Pentacles, Taurus, usually. Could be, I suppose, any other earth sign, but we know that the King of Pentacles is a father. We've got the minor arcana of the Emperor here. King of Pentacles could be a boss, could be an entrepreneur, could be the person who pays you. This could be anything pertaining to work or anything pertaining to our prosperity, to our finances, right? We've got someone who could be a magician, someone who, the Midas touch, I'm going to say here, someone who does have the ability to create gold, right? Anything they touch turns to gold, but there's a lot of secrecy around their home, their personal life, and this could also stem back to their childhood or be connected to some karma involving their mother. It could be, or any issues pertaining to motherhood. But we do see a King of Pentacles here, and we see a father and a son. The swords, remember, they speak to perception, clarity, communication, but sevens Sevens can be difficult, conflict, but they can also be very much about magic. Remember what I said about this person? We see that they've gone through much humbling. We see that this person has grown old. They have matured through challenges. And maturity doesn't have to be only someone who's got grey hair, right? Silvery hair, but someone who's gone through life lessons. Now here we've got the King of Pentacles straight after the Magician, which is an ace. But I believe that around the new moon in Cancer, even though things may be a little bit tough, there's something that's very grounding, something that's very real that will be created, a new beginning. Now, because this is Gemini and Virgo, Virgo is, of course, it's work and service. Gemini is decisions, it's collaboration. This could involve two siblings or anything to do with your close environment or your relatives. Something close to home is going on here. What comes after the King of Pentacles? And we've got the Eight of Swords. Look at that. And I was thinking of the Eight of Swords because we've got the 7 here and there is the 8. And the 8 is someone's perception of feeling blocked, right? It's the way that this King of Pentacles processes his thoughts. It's like something's holding him back or stuck or imprisoned, right? And again, I'm going to say it's got a lot to do with the past, maybe also some sort of secrecy, something that they've withheld, and a bit of deception having come from this King of Pentacles. But if we look at just the spread, how it is, there's a connection between this King of Pentacles and the Queen of Pentacles. They are connected through the Magician. So this could be a relationship where there's either good or no good communication. This could say that both are magicians and they need to join forces. If this is business, I'm going to say. We see the woman here as blindfold. She's blindfolded, so there's a lot of information that's missing. And just the fact that the Queen of Pentacles is above the King of Pentacles, it looks like she's on their mind. For her, this King of Pentacles she's very karmically connected to this person. Now, this person could possibly provide some sort of emotional, physical, financial stability or security to this Queen of Pentacles. But we've got the Eight of Swords here. What's at the bottom? What's at the bottom here? We've got the Ten of Cups. The Ten of Cups is a cycle which is coming to a close. There's a restart. Tens always speak to completions. We do see the rainbow. Excuse me. And this is the card of family, remember. It is the card of family. Usually does speak to a lot of happiness, but remember that a rainbow always comes out after the rain. The sun comes through and there's a rainbow. So after some challenges, there is a possible ending. This is a happy end, or this is a happy beginning, a difficult end and then a happy beginning possibly. Yeah, we've got the Five of Wands, which does speak to conflict, right? Not being on the same page. And of course, this could speak to where we put our energy. Remember that these people are trying to build something together, but they're not on the same page. Three of Wands, so a lot to do with desire and fire. Now, there could be physical distance. We see the Three of Wands, which is an initial stage of success, having put in effort, but we've gotten to the Five of Wands where there's confusion. They're not talking the same language. They don't perceive things in a similar way. Now, having a king and a queen of the same suit says that they've got the same ideals, same wants, same needs. They're very, very similar. Sometimes being very similar has got its drawbacks. And you know, sometimes even, I mean, this is like two people looking at each other, you know, in the mirror. That's how similar these energies are that I'm feeling. But what's going on here, there's a lot to do with the communication, the lack thereof. There's some deception. There are things pertaining to the home, and it's all about the communication or the perception. That's where there could be differences. Now, we do have a fair bit of air. So Aquarius, Gemini, and Libra. Let's take one on that Eight of Swords. What is this? What is this perception and holding us back from? Remember, the kings are all about maturity and the experience, right? It's getting to that final stage. Whether this is a I mean, this is a general message, remember. So even if it's not a love relationship, it's all about building on that stability, right? We've got a king and a queen here, and they do speak to experience. Okay, so what I get here is that they are on the same page, but it's like they've crossed their wires. Something needs to be adjusted and tweaked here. Let's see what that Eight of Swords is. And we've got the Wheel of Fortune. And the Wheel of Fortune we know is a 10. The Wheel of Fortune could also say that these people have been raised with different beliefs, possibly come from different areas of the world. The Wheel of Fortune is divine timing, that some truths will come through. Jupiter is here, and Jupiter will expand. It will bring optimism, faded changes, and endings, therefore new beginnings. Remember what I said about the blindfold. What's holding this king back from, you know, having this ace up their sleeve, from communicating clearly, is their thought process, maybe some information, some things that are hidden, or that there's doubt. Okay, there are doubts here. But the Wheel of Fortune brings, you know, it's the wheel that turns. It's changes, it's justice, it's truth, and it's also wisdom. Now, Jupiter is transiting through Taurus in a Venus-ruled sign. And Jupiter can expand on anything it touches. Taurus can be and is fixed earth, so there can be a little bit of ego here. And there could also be competition, competitive energies, at who's going to take the lead, let's say. But also the competition can also be mind games, because, you know, swords are all about the mind. But I'm going to say also that the Eight of Swords speaks to someone being imprisoned. Well, the Wheel of Fortune, Jupiter will bring the release through wisdom, through truth. And wisdom can speak to, I should say, Jupiter can speak to segregation, but, you know, possible separation and divorce, but also pairing up. It's like bringing two people together. Let's see, because the Wheel of Fortune is divine timing. It is the hand of spirit. Okay, let's take a couple more cards and see what's going on. One card to see what's going on, where the Psychic Tarot for the heart is concerned. We are looking at matters of heart, and we've got balance. We've got Temperance, and Temperance we know is Sagittarius. Sagittarius is ruled by Jupiter, and we see the twins here. Two people that, you know, two halves of a whole. This is what they're trying to find, their balance. You know, this is a card of Archangel Michael saying that healing will happen. It's all about divine timing. This is another card which is speaking about divine timing, and that patience is necessary. I do call them the twins. Now, I don't know what Gemini has got to do with this, but when we talk about twins, it's about two people that are two halves to a whole. So a twin flame, two people that match, two people that are like a mirroring image of each other, which I actually spoke of before. But remember, it's also temperance, which is saying be patient, you need to trust, keep the faith. There's an alchemy that's going on right now, and we need to understand that it's all about timing. And of course, for some of you, it could be also that you're at a physical distance from someone who is your twin, but there's physical distance, there's distance where beliefs, perception, and family issues are concerned. Okay, so let's take 3 Lenormand and see what's going on. So Sagittarius, we've got Gemini. Mutable energies speak to changes. We did speak about the nodal axis shifting. It's not about being stuck anymore after mid-month. It will be all about taking action to clear out relationships of all sorts, even where work is concerned, that have run their course, that were not equal, that did not bring peace and equality. Okay, it's like two people needing to feel whole on their own so that they could come together. They don't need, Aries North Node is, I don't need the other person to complete me. I need the other person not to complete me as a person, but more so to balance me out. Okay, so let's see, because North Node in Aries is about the individuals being very powerful, standing alone, right? And it's cardinal energy, which means new seasons, confidence, right? Having that fire beneath you. Mars rules Aries. So this is what we're coming up to now. It's no more about ego and being stuck. It's about now, new seasons, and taking action. What's going on here? We've got the mice, which is all about worry, injustices. We've got the snake, which could speak to third parties. The snake does speak to a shedding. Remember, it's like Scorpio. It's like that South Node in Scorpio as well. Remember that snakes, look at the way that the cards speak sometimes. This to me speaks to, look at the snake and the way he's looking at, the way it's looking at the mice. This is like food, yeah? And the snake does speak to change and transformation. It speaks to desires and seduction and sexuality and also forbidden knowledge. And, the mice is deficiency. It's not feeling good. It's not being happy. It's third parties. It's gossip. It's loss. This is all about shedding any karma and anything that speaks to venom and poison pertaining to the past. Oh my goodness me. Oh my God, what a trio. I cannot believe this. This to me is like saying something is being put to rest. Something that was very unhealthy, that involved third parties, that caused a lot of troubles, a lot to do with secrecy, emotional, psychological hardships are being put to rest. It's like a brand new sort of energy is being born. We've got a divine masculine here that's gone through a lot. We've got the Tower. Remember what I spoke about? Someone going through a very big maturing energy process, timing, right? The Tower is Saturn in Capricorn, and it speaks to someone who may have been arrogant, someone's been humbled greatly. It does speak to someone who's in a position of authority, and we've got a divine masculine and the King of Pentacles here. But there's also solitude. Remember, the Tower can also speak to a business. It could speak to a family or someone's business. I mean, doing things by the book or doing things in a traditional way. The Tower speaks to delays as well. Someone's arrogance being humbled here. And we've got the Mountain. My goodness. And the Mountain for me is Capricorn, which is saying, yes, there are many limitations right now. Many maturing energies here and sobering. But the Mountain can also, dear friends, speak to strength, great strength, and climbing that ladder or getting to the top, accomplishing something which was very, very difficult. There is help coming through from Spirit, and we've got a 21. 21 is the World, so again, it could speak to physical distance. Someone who lives close by the mountains. We see that here as well. But this Divine Masculine is suffering some sort of a loss. I don't know if this is someone who's lost a partner as well. Could be. What's at the bottom? And we've got the letter, and the letter could speak to news, information, possible contracts, deals, anything at all. And it is connected to someone's security or home or a marriage. There will be news that will be coming in, and we've got the stars beneath that. And the stars does speak to progression towards goals, but it's not an easy way up that mountain, right? But nevertheless, to me, I feel that this speaks to a huge accomplishment. We do have Saturn and Jupiter, which they're in good aspect. We've got Saturn in Virgo and Jupiter is in Taurus. They're in good connection. So this could be quite grounding, but also very freeing, where there were limitations, and the freeing will come through information, I feel. Information, doing business, it can speak to commerce, yes, and news. Okay? So, I hope that this helped, my dear friends. I really do hope that this helped give you a little bit of clarity of what's going on. My goodness, I mean, if this is not a humbling energy and someone having to prove themselves that they can be the magician, then I don't know what is. But what is help? Help is coming through Spirit, through the divine. Archangel Michael promises that there is support coming through. I don't think that there's anything else I need to tell you. I am wishing you well. It is Monday today. I will be back more than likely on Wednesday. We'll see. I'm hoping to do an astro update for you guys. But don't forget the Venus star point and the Venus retrograde just around the corner. Very, very important times, astrologically speaking, obviously, and we're all, what's going on up there in the sky is part of our reality down here on Earth. So anything at all you need, please do not hesitate. You can reach out to me through Gmail, so divinedebut11@gmail.com. And if you're interested to check out our website, it is divinedebut11.net. Just before I go, Anne-Marie, if you could get in touch, I would appreciate it. Anyway, my darlings, to all of you, love and light. Talk to you probably on Wednesday.